live. Going first down, Rams. Going live, doing a theme song.
I love it.
First down, Rams. We're back. Rams house. Oh, it's because I'm on this side. I messed it up. There we go.
Yeah.
Rams house. Payo time with the Rams radar. And we are here for another episode of First Down Rams. Hello, Ramley and other NFL family. It is a pleasure to be with you here on December 26th. We're going to preview the Rams versus the Falcons game. We're going to go through an injury report. We'll be doing over Rams action. We'll be doing what's more likely, but it's just the Rams. And, of course, we are excited to chat with all of you in the chat. And so feel free to say hello, ask questions, all that good stuff. But before we do any of that, Rams house, how are you? How was your Christmas, man?
I'm doing good. My Christmas was good. The house was full, a lot of different people. Got a big family, as many of you guys know. So just was able to spend some time with them and hang out. And unfortunately, the quality of the football on Christmas wasn't the greatest, but the family time I was able to spend with people, catching up with different people, that was definitely really good. So I had a good Christmas. How about you?
I also had some quality time with some loved one, and I would say the quality of football was not that great, but maybe it encouraged quality family time, right? And that's the gift, right?
Yeah, honestly, maybe that was intentional.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm just excited. Like, it feels, I've been saying this all week, like it feels like forever since the Rams played their game. Like they played the Seahawks and Rams on Thursday night, and that was like game of the year, all of that. But it feels like it's been just months and months since we played football. And so I'm just excited to be able to talk more Rams and get excited for this Falcons and Rams game, because it still feels a little far out. I'm going to be honest. It's Friday night. We play on Monday night, but we just got to get there, man. I'm excited.
Yeah, and you know what? Before we talk Rams Falcons, I gotta give some shout outs here. We see Porter in the chat. He's still a little salty about how the 2-point conversions of the refs. I get it, Porter. Yeah. Porter, he actually gave me a Christmas gift. He's told me that Troy Reeder is going to get a pick six. He said he got it for me. So
excited.
Porter's very generous that way.
Yeah, he is. That's a hard gift to be able to get for someone.
Yeah. And Porter, I'm going to save this for when we do what's more likely at the end. So it's starred there, and but we'll get back to some of your questions. But I got to give some other shout outs here. Grandizer, who's Casa, Rams Casa. Yeah. We got Muabdeeb is here, stays left, keep me accountable. I got you, man. I got you. Ooh, the one, the only Sheriff Joe from Ram Showcase is here. Hello, my good friend. Let's see what else we got. The Juno Troopers here. Good to see you. I'm not on the roof again. Yeah, I'm in a hotel. I am on the road again. Yes, I am. Well, whether you're watching with us live or on the replay, thank you everyone for tuning on in. Feel free to hit that like button and subscribe. And if you're into the hyping thing that YouTube has us doing now, like and hype. Always appreciated. So, Rams, let's talk Rams Falcons. But before I turn it over to you, can I just remind you of something?
Go ahead.
So way back when the schedule came out, we were excited for this game. I remember actually like talking with you, talking with other Rams fan of like, what game, like when you look at the Rams schedule before the season started, what are the games you are most excited for? And there are many Ram fans, including myself, that was like, Falcons Rams Monday Night Football at the end of the year? Yeah, that's like in my like top 5 games I'm most excited for in this game, like this season for the Rams. Now, as the season has gone on, and there's been some wins, some losses, things like that. The Falcon season, has kind of not turned out the way they would have liked. I feel like some of that excitement has maybe died down a lot. But I am happy to say I still love the Raheem Morris connection to the Rams and that storyline that's there. I I do think the McVay and Cousins connection from way back in the Washington day is still there. Always kind of a fun little storyline, to throw in there. You look at, Bijan Robinson, Drake London. This is a team that has some studs, like some really good talent on it. And then on top of that, there's the Pierce. What? I'm forgetting his name here.
James Pierce Jr.
James Pierce Jr., who the Falcons traded their first round pick next year in order to get, but they also traded their second round pick, which was the 46th overall pick, for tight end Terrence Ferguson, which the Rams selected. And there's some cool storylines there, right? But anyway, I say all this to ask you, what are you excited about heading into this Rams-Falcons game?
Just a vanilla answer to start. Just excited to see the Rams play again. Yeah. Excited to see them in primetime action. If you would have told me going into the year to try to guess if Rams-Eagles or Rams-Falcons would be in primetime, I would say probably Rams-Eagles. I wouldn't have thought that Rams-Falcons would be here. But here we are now, and there's, as you mentioned, a lot of good storylines between both teams, whether it be coaches, even like Zach Robinson, who came from the Rams as their offensive coordinator, and you talked about Raheem Morris and the trade and all of that. I'm excited as a Rams fan, knowing if we win, it helps us now, but it also helps us in the future for that draft pick. And I just feel like this game for the Rams offense is going to be another one of those games where they are going to just be on fire and playing really well. And that's what I'm excited for. I think we're going to see some good offensive fireworks from both sides, just because there's some good players on both sides. And I'm excited to be able to see what the Rams can do, just because that they're frustrated and they're salty after the way the result went last week against the Seahawks. And they know that they're still in that number one seed contention, and the NFC West division is still on the line. So, you're going to get the best from the Rams, and that's what I'm excited to see. And it's just like this season in particular, it feels like any week a different Rams player could go off and have a big performance. And so I'm just excited to see who that player is going to be this week.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that it's always interesting when you can analyze a game and, especially late in the season here, and like, okay, is this going to be a game where Puka goes Pukular, or does Blake Corum and Kyron Williams have, one of their big, backfield days? Do we see another MVP performance from Stafford, right? There's so much to, I see Moab Deep here talking about Nate Landman, right? Yeah, because he used to play for the Falcons. That's another good, that's
a great storyline right there. There's a lot of cool things to watch in this one. I think that the Rams running game could have like a big opportunity in this one, because the Falcons defense has gotten a lot better this year than they have been in years past, especially like pass rush wise. They've really improved that. And even like their secondary is really good. Jesse Bates, AJ Terrell, there's a lot of good names and good players on that defense, but definitely like one of the biggest things that they've struggled with this year is stopping the run. And that, like, they're ranked 25th and just like letting up yards every game. So I think the Rams have a good opportunity there, being one of the better run blocking groups and have good running backs back there. And you look at it, like even last week against the Cardinals, I believe is the last game they played. The Cardinals have had a very bad run game, and the Falcons were able, the Cardinals were able to find a way to run it on the Falcons, get over 100 yards there. So this could be a big game for them on the ground, and potentially the last bone uniform game in the Rams just entirely, which is another interesting storyline along with it. But I do feel confident about the Rams offense going into this game for sure.
Yep. Yeah, no, absolutely. I see we got some other cool people in the chat here. We got Tony coming in hot. Good to see you. First in Tuna. Oh, man. He's in the chat. Good to see you, Tuna. And yes, Canada celebrates Christmas. Where I live, we had a truly white Christmas. It was snow everywhere. Anyway, Herbert saying, I have faith the Rams winning this game against the Falcons. Rams Showcase bringing up Jordan Fuller for president is on the practice squad. Oh,
isn't that weird?
That is weird. Bake and Bombs most interested is how the tight ends for the Rams go. Yeah, definitely. And Porter, I'll add that to the list for later. And I do want to bring up, we talked about this a little bit off camera, and I want to just bring up the injury report, because the Rams have been pretty healthy this year compared to a lot of other teams. But if we bring up the injury report, there's one thing that is interesting here. So for week 17, obviously, there's players being held for, rest. Probably there's some Christmas things in there, like Lyric Jackson. He hasn't been practicing this week. Braden Fiss had a limited practice on Friday, so that's good, to see. Kevin Dotson didn't practice. Devontae Adams did not practice. Josh Wallace did not practice. But here, Roger McCreary, full practice. What are your thoughts when you see that?
I'm excited. I talked about it off of the stream to you. Roger McCreary is one of those guys that, oddly enough, just a couple days ago, I was like, man, I kind of forgot the Rams traded for him. Gave up decent capital to be able to go out and get him, and just for good depth at the cornerback position. And of course, when Quentin Lake goes down, and then you had McCreary go down. So right. I'm excited to be able to see him come back. We know that Lake is coming back soon off the injury, kind of report there and what he's been struggling with. And so I'm excited to see if we randomly get Roger McCreary put into this game. The Rams are very game plan dependent and specific with their cornerbacks. Like we saw against the Lions, Kello didn't play, and even the Seahawks, he didn't play. But other weeks he would play. It's just very matchup dependent. So I'm curious to see if McCreary is healthy enough, if the Rams think that this is the kind of matchup that they're going to need him out there for. Because I personally think that where the Rams are at right now with their cornerbacks, they're not world beaters. I think that they get a little bit too much hate from the outside fans. But I do think adding in a McCreary could actually help this defense a little bit, just in time for Quentin Lake to be able to come back too. So that's an interesting little layer to look out for there if we can see Roger McCreary suit up here for the Rams.
Yeah, definitely. I'm looking here I looked at the Rams the website depth chart or unofficial depth chart, but then McCreary was not listed on it. And then here on ESPN, it has Roger McCreary actually on the IR. So I don't know if we see him this game or not, but it is interesting to note that he is a veteran corner who there was a lot of hype when the Rams traded for him. Unfortunately, just haven't seen him because of injury, things like that. But that's a name to watch for come playoff time for sure.
Yeah, it was really unfortunate too, because I remember against the Buccaneers early on in that Sunday night game, they sent him on a blitz off the edge. He almost got a sack on Baker.
Yeah.
And on that play, he got injured. And it was right away, right when he's stepping in there. So we really haven't gotten a large sample size of what he can do, but we know what he's been good at. And we've heard from the Titans fan base how much they loved him and what he's able to do. So I'm just, whenever he comes back, whenever he plays and suits up again, I'm excited to see, because he's in a contract year. It's his opportunity to prove himself and hopefully help the Rams go on a bit of a run.
Yeah. Well, one of the things that I'm just kind of changing focus here, because you had mentioned the Rams have not played in forever, it feels like, right? They have a Thursday. They're not playing until Monday. But one of the things that I am just so pumped for about this game, because we do play on the Monday night, is we get to see the results of the Seahawks versus the Panthers and the 49ers versus the Bears. And if there's some scenario where the Panthers beat the Seahawks and the Bears beat the Niners, this game, just the weight of this game goes up even more of okay, Rams, you need to win. Everything went your way this week. We got to see it. So I'm pumped to, for football this weekend. It's funny. I saw the Raiders and the Giants being investigated for tanking and stuff like that. And I'm just I'm so glad I'm not a fan of one of those teams that's covering a YouTube, that has a YouTube channel covering those teams. Cause I have no desire to be breaking news, my favorite team is being investigated for tanking, right?
I know. At least try to go out strong.
Right. If anything, the Rams should be investigated for just man, how do you draft so well in the late rounds? I mean, that's suspicious.
Breaking, the Rams are getting investigated for being too sick. They have too many good players. Yeah, you're totally right there. I'm definitely glad that this is the conversation, and we've talked about it before. The 1 seed isn't going to determine if the Rams go to the Super Bowl or not. But am so rooting for the Panthers to pull off a win against the Seahawks and Bears against the Niners, and to set up for a scenario if the Rams could find a way to still get that 1 seed, that would be pretty sweet. Like home field advantage, get the week off. For me, I'm at the point where I'm like, I'm not banking on the Rams getting it as I was probably a couple weeks ago, where it kind of felt like it was falling into place.
Yeah.
But if they get it, I'm not going to complain. I'll be happy. But either way, the vibe of this team feels very much like they're not afraid to play anybody, anywhere. They have the team to match up against anyone. Really, the only thing that could get in their way is injuries and like terrible weather. Like if you get a really bad weather game, but even in that, like the other team would have to play in it as well. So I feel pretty confident about this team going forward for sure.
Well, and to kind of circle back to the Rams Falcons, how do you feel about the East Coast trip? I mean, that's I know it's a storyline that probably is over talked about. I can't help but look at the Rams Panthers game and think like, oh, that East Coast trip, right? Like the East Coast road trip. Any concerns about that with, going into Atlanta?
Honestly, not really, especially with it being a longer week. Like they've had so much time to prepare and get ready for it. But even so, like, the Panthers game we lost, that one just felt like a weird game. The Rams play usually really well on the East Coast, like in the 11 a.m. window games too, like a lot better than what people would think. So I feel confident going into it. And I kind of look back to that Jacksonville game in London, whereas like the Rams traveled there like 24 hours before the game, which no team had ever done. So if the Rams were able to do that, pull off a win there, I feel pretty confident on a long week being able to go and travel on Monday Night Football. I think they're just ready to play, honestly.
Yeah, it's probably an overdone narrative at the beginning. Yeah. I've seen it just sort of peek in its head this week, seeing some Ram fans being like, oh, like the East Coast trap game, right?
They'll find anything to talk about.
Yeah, right. Juno Trooper brings up an interesting point here. It says, or a question: do you think that if Seattle and San Francisco both win on Sunday and we have no shot at the number 1 seed, McVay rests the starters for the remaining 2 games? Interesting question, Juno.
I don't think he'd rest starters for Atlanta, but I wouldn't put it out of the question for him to rest it against the Cardinals. We saw them do that last year against the Seahawks in that last game. So really wouldn't put it past them. I don't think that they care that much about playoff seeding. I think that there would be no, like, they wouldn't even think about sitting starters if the number 1 seed was in play in that last week.
Yeah.
But the Rams don't seem like they care that much about it. They just feel confident in their group. So I wouldn't think Atlanta, because they're planning on playing the starters, but maybe Arizona, you can make an argument.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And Sheriff Joe brings up that McCreary is technically on IR, but he got activated to practice. We have to activate him off IR within 21 days of him returning to practice. Oh, thank you very much, Sheriff Joe, for explaining that. Very cool.
Yeah.
Porter, no promises. Stay tuned. Let's see. Any other interesting questions coming out here? I see Muad'Dib saying we finally have a quiet Rams week, the most drama we've had in like 5 years. Yeah,
I agree.
To be honest, it's like I've had friends reach out to me of like, oh, like the Rams, the drama team, and I'm like, like they don't do drama. They really don't.
Well, it's funny too. I like a weird stream that happened with Puka, just like doing human being things. Like that's the kind of drama that qualifies it for the Rams, just because like they don't get into the news like that, to where like this probably for most other teams is like normal, like casual, but for the Rams it's like, oh no, it's like, is the sky falling? And it's like, no, they're fine.
Yeah. Tony asks a good question here. He says, what do you think happens to Stafford's chances on MVP if they rest him? Good question, Tony.
Is he talking about like this week or the week? I'm assuming
I'm assuming he means Arizona. Yeah.
That is a good question. I think it should still go to Stafford, but maybe it would make it closer.
Honestly, I think if Stafford has one more really good game to just sort of put a bow on it, I think he can take it with confidence. And I honestly, I love that Stafford is such a savvy vet that like whenever he's asked about it, he appreciates it. It's cool, but like he's too cool for school. He's like MVP is nice, but like I'm focused on the Super Bowl, right? Like,
Yeah.
like that's what you want in your quarterback, right? You don't
Yeah.
necessarily want him getting, like, oh yeah, MVP, that's my goal in life, right?
Yeah. That's definitely true. I love having Stafford. He's just such a cool guy there. But yeah, I think you're kind of right there. I feel like he has it pretty locked up. Like I think it's a
Mhm.
tight race, but I feel like he's shown enough to be able to get the MVP. But to your point, like if he has another good performance, this one's going to be in prime time, Monday Night Football against the Falcons team, whose defense has gotten a lot better. And if he just does it again on a primetime stage,
Yeah.
maybe for people for whatever reason who are still up in the air about it would be like, oh yeah. But honestly, like I feel like it would take some like pretty bad performances for him to be able to fall out of that conversation or to go back to second. But I don't know. That's kind of my thoughts on it because Drake May has been playing really well, and I don't want to take that away from him. He's been playing some
Yeah.
really good football on a Patriots team, and the thing I keep going back to in my head is Stafford has played really well for a lot of his career, but especially since coming to the Rams, and he's been elevating people left and right since he's been here, and even on the Lions. Drake May's been playing really well, but he's only done it for 2 years. This is the first season that he's been in this conversation. So it's kind of weird to think of like taking Stafford out of the conversation, giving it to May when this is technically a small sample size of like this is the first year it's happening. But for Stafford, it's like he has a resume of playing well, a resume of doing the no looks and everything that he does to where I would just be a little bit surprised if they took it out of his hands just because like he's built up that credibility.
And it's the best year of Stafford's career statistically, right? Like,
Yeah.
um, always good to see you. I always mess this up because my Spanish is terrible, but Carneros Latinos, a great Rams content creator for our Spanish speaking Ramley. So always a pleasure to see you, my friend. And I saw we also got Rams Aholic in that house. Good to see you.
A Ramsaholic?
Yeah. I see Bruce is also here. Shout out Bruce. And then I see two questions here. We're going to get to Grandizers second, but first off, Muabdeeb asks, as a Missouri, pardon my Canadian, how do you feel about the Kansas Chiefs? And I'm guessing that question is for you because you were born in Missouri, right?
Yeah. Honestly, I'm kind of disinterested, like in the Chiefs, obviously being a Rams fan, but I felt like it was kind of a surprising move for me. I don't really know too much about like what went into that, but I don't know. I'm sure the people that are living there are probably upset with them moving. I would assume just based on what we saw at the St. Louis and LA move, but honestly, I couldn't care too much about it, especially because like right now I live in Colorado, but yeah, I was born in St. Louis, so.
Oh, fair enough. Yeah. Yeah. To be honest, I saw the storyline. I don't know enough about it. I'm sure it has something to do with taxes or something like that.
Probably. Yeah.
Grandizer's question is on the Hawks Nest chat. So that's a Seahawks content creator, Brandon. They kept talking about Puka not being happy with the Rams. What is that about? Just rumors. Yeah. I totally rumors, never heard anything about that.
Yeah, not even a hint of that.
No. Yeah,
they must be confused.
Yeah, maybe that's just their hope because they're scared of it.
I would be hoping that too if I was a Seahawks fan.
Yeah, right. I have to address this. Moabdib, je m'appelle Peo Time. Comment tu peux-tu? Un petit français. That's all I don't know a lot of French. I'm not bilingual. I know a little bit of French to get by, and I don't know Spanish. Okay, I won't speak. Every now and then I'll speak a little bit of French on these, and then people are just like, "Oh, he knows a little bit of French." I don't have a clue what he's saying. Anyway, Marcus is saying, I think the Rams will bounce back in a big way. They win 30-17 and use this momentum as they go to the Super Bowl. I like it. Yeah, you know what? The Rams are due for a good bounce back game narrative. I'm up for that.
Yeah,
I'm up for
yeah,
that.
and I've heard this talked about a lot amongst Rams fans and publications and all that, saying like when the Rams ended up losing last time, they went on a 6-game win streak and were able to rattle off 6 in a row. And so this time, I'm excited to see if the Rams can do it again, because if you count this game moving forward, 6 games would take us to the Super Bowl. So they've shown that they can bounce back and they can rattle off wins even after tough losses. So yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah, definitely. Let's see here. Porter saying, do you think the Bills have a chance to make the Super Bowl because of no more Kansas City this year? I totally do.
Yeah. Well, I feel like just the AFC is a lot weaker than it has been in years past too. So I think that this could be the Bills' chance to actually like make a Super Bowl at the very least.
Like it's interesting because going into last year, you kind of had a thought like, okay, the Eagles and Chiefs, they're pretty like when they both made the Super Bowl, no one was surprised that that was the Super Bowl matchup, right? This year, I could be surprised with any team in the AFC making it, or the NFC. I do kind of feel like it's between the Rams, Seahawks, Niners, Eagles, or Bears. I guess that's pretty much half of it. I so like if the Panthers made a Super Bowl run, that would be
me.
Weird. But like, or maybe the Packers, right? But like, I feel like this year there's just like so many unknowns. So yeah, I think if the Bills were to make a run, this would be the year for them to do it for sure.
Yeah, this is one of those fun years where it's just like there's so much up in the air, so much that you can't predict. Even just a couple weeks from now, things may look a lot different than they did. I mean, you even look back a week ago, the Rams were in the 1 seed and now they're in the 6 seed, like just all of a sudden. And that's what this year feels like. It's just like it's so wide open in a lot of ways. And I was on with Tuna and the Sheriff on their show earlier, and we were talking about who should get Offensive Player of the Year this year. And the main ones that we were talking about were Puka Nacua, Christian McCaffrey, and JSN. And with that conversation, it was tough. It was a toss-up. There's a lot of different arguments you can make for each one of those guys. Yeah. And then Coach of the Year, you look at that, you're like, oh, there's like 3 or 4 different options that I could really see. And like I was thinking in my head, I was like, this is like the definition of this season. It's like wide open. Anybody can win it. And there's a lot of good teams to where it's like you just don't know what's going to happen. It's just really as like overplayed of a narrative as it is. It's whoever plays well and gets hottest in the playoffs is going to end up winning, because all these teams are really close. Yeah. And coaches are close and players are close. And that's just the kind of year it's been, which is fun because we've gotten used to kind of like the chalk, answers of like Eagles going to make the Super Bowl, Chiefs. Like you usually can tell early on, but this one, it's like there's so many teams that could do it.
Yeah, it's more wide open than Puka Nacua on a slant route.
Yep, honestly, can't get more open than that.
Yeah. I'm gonna see David here. Good to see you, my friend. Bacon Bombs asked a good question here. Who would you guys rather play, Carolina or Philly?
I would lean Carolina. I like Philadelphia. I think is pretty beatable. Like to be honest, it would be tough going to their place, no matter how beatable they are. Beat them there. To me, it's just like Carolina. I know that they're good at home. They just don't have that much recent playoff experience. They got a lot of young players, and I really do think that the result is going to be completely different than what we first saw when the Rams played against Carolina, especially losing to them. I would take Carolina all day. What about you?
My answer is maybe a little more petty than yours. So my Rams versus Carolina watch party was the most watched watch party in the history of my channel, which I still think is random but cool. But the amount of smack talk that Carolina Panthers fans talked that entire week, and Eagles fans talk a lot of smack. And when we lost to them, that like I saw that for sure. But the amount of way over the top smack talk that I saw from Carolina Panthers fans, I'll say this way. I have never deleted so many comments from my comment section because and it normally takes a lot for me to actually delete a comment. It's normally like if it's a like super personal attack on myself or someone else or something, I'm just like, nope, I get that out of there. But like the amount of just like vulgar comments from the Carolina Panthers fans. And so I would love the Rams to play the Carolina Panthers again, just because I would dig a week of the Rams, the Ramley and Panthers fans having, some banter back and forth. And I'd like the Rams to get another crack at the Panthers. So I'd kind of go that way.
I feel like 8 out of 10 times the Rams play the Panthers, they should get the win there. And yeah, that was a surprising fan base that talked a lot for just based on the fact of where their team's been over the last few years. But yeah, honestly, again, Philadelphia and Carolina are both pretty beatable in my opinion. You don't want to take them lightly, but I would probably play the Panthers. Honestly, I just feel good about chances there.
For sure, yeah. We got a $10 super chat coming in here.
Hey, thanks, Cindo.
Yeah, horns up, Ramley. Rams need to win out to get the number 1 seed. Always Rams house. Woo!
Coming in hot. Appreciate you, Descendo. Hope you had a good Christmas, man.
Yeah, Merry Christmas. And yeah, Geno Troopers, he's like, they were the worst I've seen all year. Yeah, and you know what? Like, I'm happy to say the Panthers, because they have not had a lot to cheer for, so I can get happy for a fandom that experienced that. But yeah, it was there was a lot going on that week.
Yeah, that was, and the sad part was that was like the birthday week for me, and so I was like getting excited, and then it was like, oh, the Rams lost to the Panthers in a heartbreaking fashion. But no matter what, like at the end of the losses that the Rams have had this year, we've had some brutal losses, like some really gut-wrenching losses, and the most recent one was probably the worst. But in none of those games was I like, oh, I guess this means the Rams probably aren't going to make a run this year, or I guess they're just not capable. They don't have enough players. That's the encouraging thing of these losses. It's like they've been so close, and they've taken some weird things to be able to lose.
Yeah,
and I don't have to go through all of those things that it takes, but that's where it's like I've seen some Rams fans where they're like they give up on the season, but for me it's like no, like I still feel good about this team, feel confident about them, and as McVay's been saying a lot, the setbacks are setups for comebacks. So
yeah, and like it's an interesting point you bring up, because really like the losses that the Rams have had, none of them I would say were like a loss that wasn't like, okay, like either it was a fluke thing that happened, like the Rams beat themselves, or the other team just made that 1 or 2 epic play that helped them win it, right? Like I guess, is it fair to say like they were quality losses? I don't know. Like that.
Yeah. Well, yeah, definitely quality losses, competitive losses. I think between the Rams loss to the Seahawks and the win over them, it's like a 3-point difference or something like put together. And like that shows how good those teams are. And every game aside from, because Philadelphia, we lost to the Eagles by I think 7 points, but really it should have been like 1 point just because they returned it back. It's like every game the Rams are down there, like down to the wire, the last play, every game that they lose. And in those games, you can point to so many things of being like, man, like Rams fumbled a few too many times, or Rams missed the field goal, had it blocked, whatever. And then in this Seahawks game, like the punt return set everything up. You had that weird 2-point conversion that McVay said he's never seen anything like that before. So like that's the encouraging thing about it. It's like there's not a loss where you're like, man, we just played terribly. I can't believe like this is our team, whatever. They do feel very competitive, and so it feels like it takes a lot for them to be able to lose games, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, I'd agree. Yeah. Well, we're kind of caught up on comments here. Again, everyone, thank you so much for tuning in with us.
Yeah.
Rams House, are you ready for some over Rams action?
Oh, yeah. Let's do it. All right.
Awesome.
So for new viewers in here who are new to the Over Rams Action Friday segment, it is basically just like what Rich Eisen does on Monday with his Overreaction Monday segment with Chris Brockman. And basically the whole idea of it is I pitch to you guys like Payo Time and you guys in the chat what could be deemed as like hot takes or things that are just like a little bit too crazy, or some people may view it as something that's fair. And so it's your guys' job to be able to say if it is a fair reaction or if it's an Over Rams action. An Over Rams action basically just means it's a hot take. So I'm going to need your guys' help here. You're going to need Payo's help here. Let's start off with number one. Kyle Pitts has been in the conversation a lot going into this Rams game. He has been on a tear. If nobody's been paying attention, like the last few games has really been just catching fire. And so this is going to be a big matchup for the Rams. A lot of times they struggle with tight ends. So starting off number one, Kyle Pitts is going to outgain the Rams' entire tight end room on Monday Night Football.
Oh. That's a tough one. I'm going to need your help, chat. I'm thinking about that here. Let me look up Kyle Pitts' stats here. Kyle Pitts stat line. All right. So okay. So if I'm looking at this, Kyle Pitts had 57 yards and a touchdown against the Cardinals last week, 166 yards and 3 touchdowns against the Buccaneers the week before. Then 90 yards, 82. The rest of the season, he fluctuates between like 37 and 70 yards. So like he's had the best season of his career.
Yeah.
So happy for him.
I think he's on pace for it. I think he saw 1,000 yards his first year, but the finish to this season has been really good. Yeah.
Yeah. So he's at 854 yards, 80 receptions right now on the season, 5 touchdowns. He's averaging 10.7 yards a catch. You know what? I'm gonna say it's an over Rams action because Devontae Adams likely isn't gonna play, and I feel like that leans to like Kobe Parkinson and Terrence Ferguson getting and Davis Allen getting more involved in the passing game. So I think combined, I think the Rams tight ends will have more receiving yards than Kyle Pitts personally. So I'm going to call that an over Rams action myself.
Okay. Do you think it's going to be close at least, or do you think it's like, oh no, that shouldn't even be a conversation?
No, I think it's a very valid conversation. I think it's going to be close. Okay. Yeah, but
that's what Sheriff Joe Bags thinks.
Yeah, same with silly fun guy here.
Yeah, not an over Rams action. Oh, so he's on the opposite side. He thinks that Kyle Pitts is going to get more. Sheriff Joe Bags says over Rams action. Won't get the entire room, but we'll get close.
Yeah,
that's kind of what I'm thinking, especially like with how bad the Falcons' run defense is. I think the Rams are going to be able to run on them well out of that 13 and then get some good play action concepts, get it to the tight end. So I think it's going to be closer than we think maybe, but I do think that their tight end room is going to outgain Kyle Pitts. Mudeeb says over Rams 14 personnel.
Yeah.
Fair take because our secondary has been struggling in our pass rush is what Porter says. And then Bacon Bombs, great name, says Pitts on the over. And Juno Trooper, Pitts is really good. He can see it. Okay. So we'll see what happens. Either way, I think the chat can all agree that's at least going to be close between the two. Yeah. So that's going to be an interesting one to watch. Hopefully Kyle Pitts doesn't go off here.
Good start. Good start to the segment.
Hey, thanks. Yeah. Let's go to number 2 here. We got the Nate Landman storyline. Obviously, him coming over from Atlanta to the Rams, and the difference that he's made is obviously been massive. And so we haven't seen one of these in a while, but I'm saying Nate Landman is going to get a peanut punch against his former team in the Atlanta Falcons.
Yeah, it's been a couple weeks. He's due. That's not an over Rams action. I think Nate Landman, there's always that revenge game narrative, right? And I don't think Nate Landman ended things from the Falcons on bad terms by any means.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm going to say that's not an over Rams action. I totally think he could do it.
Yeah, I agree. And you see, even though he hasn't had one in a little bit, like a punch out, you see him attempting it at least 2 or 3 a game. Yeah. So I think he could get at least one of them. For some reason in my head, it would be cool if it was on Bijan or something, but I'm picturing it being on Darnell Mooney or something Drake London or even one of their Kyle Pitts. I could see it just feels right going against his former team that this could happen. But Mudeeb says not an over Rams action. He's got the peanut punch emojis in there. Ram Showcase says fair take. I can see it coming from a mile away. I can almost see that social media post that they have of the picture of it happening against this, something about it just feels like it could happen. Landman left this team for a reason, knows why they are bad. Porter says fair take because Nate Landman wants his revenge, and I think he's going to have a monster game. Juno Trooper, not an over Rams action. Also not an over Rams action. So honestly, everybody's in agreement with this one. It kind of feels like it could happen, and I would not be opposed to it, to say the least. Yep. All right. Number 3. This is going to be an interesting one. The Rams special teams just had a change. Their special teams coordinator was fired, Chase Blackburn. Mm-hmm. And special teams has been very underwhelming this year, not only just like with the field goal operation and everything, but kicks and punt returns have been a struggle. We haven't seen as many of those as years past. I'm going to say the Rams will score more points than their longest kick or punt return yards average.
Ooh, average?
No, just longest kick or punt return.
Okay, sorry. I thought you said average at the end there.
No, yeah, I tricked myself out, honestly.
Okay, because average is a very different story.
Yeah, I don't know if they'd do that.
Their longest kick or kick return. Because this is a tough one here. Because does the Rams special teams play just super safe this week? Or is it something like, hey, like we brought in Matt Harper, who is still one of the most mysterious men in all of football. Like I say that because for my video, I couldn't find like any information on him.
Seriously. Like, there's like nothing out there.
The last we heard from him, he left the Niners on good terms, interviewed for the special teams coordinator role on the Giants, didn't get it, and then he apparently has been doing nothing. No clue what he's been up to until he's all of a sudden working for the Rams now. You know what? I'm going to say that's no Rams action. I think the Rams are due for some sort of big special teams return of some kind. I think Xavier Smith, I am a believer in the X factor. I believe Xavier Smith has a big return coming. It could be this week. I could be.
Yeah, I'm in agreement with you there. Because even if they get like a return of 32 yards, let's just say that's like pretty average if you take it from the end zone out.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like a little above average. But either way, if they get something like that, it would be hard for the Rams to like outscore that. But I do think their offense is going to put up some points this week.
Yeah.
So that's the interesting part. But I do kind of feel not quite what Sheriff Joe Bags is saying here of like housing a touchdown. But I do kind of feel like we could have like a 50-yard one or something to open the day well. I just randomly thought of that game in 2021 against the Jaguars where they opened – because that was the first game in December was against the Jaguars. And so they lost 3 in a row or 4 in a row. I don't even remember. They hadn't won a game in November. And then they started off December with a kick return that got all the way to like I think the 40-yard line, the opposing 40 or the 30. And that kind of kick-started things. And so I feel like it could be a return like that where they get past midfield on a return from a kick return. So that's kind of what I'm thinking. Porter says overreaction because it's too late now for maybe next season. I'll say fair, but not now.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Okay. Yeah. Over Rams action. I can honestly see us scoring more points than the longest kick or punt return. So okay. That's interesting too.
Trooper. Okay.
We make all these predictions, but we never follow up from last week's picks. I've thought about that before.
Keeping us accountable, oh man.
Yeah. Honestly, you should keep us accountable here, Muad'Dib. Just be able to go back and revisit. Because there's been times where I'm like, man, I got the over Rams action right after I think about the game. And other times where I'm like, I was not even close.
So we have had a few get right this year. Yeah.
We have. Yeah. All right, number 4. Matthew Stafford is coming off of his best game on the season, you could argue, where he had over 450 yards against the best defense in football. I'm going to say this game, Matthew Stafford will have a game over 400 yards passing.
Ooh.
Back-to-back weeks.
I'm going to say over Rams action myself. And it's not because I don't think it could happen. I kind of feel like this is going to be a return to the run game. Yeah. I could see this game just the way it kind of goes. It's a road game. I could see it going where we see a lot of Kyron Williams and Blake Corum this game. So that's why I'm going to say over Rams action on this one here.
I agree with you. I mean, I obviously made the the thing here. I think the Rams could get this, but I do think they're going to lean into the run game. I see Stafford getting more around like 350. That's kind of where I'm sitting, which is still really good, honestly. But 400 yards back-to-back games isn't out of the question. But I do think that they're going to lean into the run game a little bit more.
If he does, put the bow on that MVP. I'm just saying.
Seriously.
Yeah.
And put a lock and key under it so that we can undo the bow.
Yeah.
This is fair take. I think he and Puka do damage again.
Okay.
That's honestly fair there. Puka blowing up in a all-9 uniform just makes sense, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. It could be the last bone game too. So if we have one of those performances in the bone, I know probably a lot of Rams fans. What do you say?
Save the bone.
Save the bone. I was gonna say I wonder. There's probably a lot of Rams fans that want the bone gone, but there's a lot of people that are big fans of it, including Joe. So
I think it's won the fandom over for the most part.
Yeah, it's definitely like the reception at first was pretty bad.
Yeah,
but I feel like people have grown to it, and
yeah, I like it.
Yeah. Old Man Ghost says too much running for the 400 passing.
Yeah.
Oh, he said all bone uni. That makes so much more sense.
Yeah.
Okay. Last over Rams action here. This is interesting. That's why I saved it for last. The Rams draft pick from the Falcons will be a lower number than the amount of catches between Drake London and Kyle Pitts.
The Rams draft pick from the Falcons will be lower than the amount of catches between Drake London and Kyle Pitts. Because it's at 11 right now, right?
Mm-hmm. I think I saw a post today that said the pick will be anywhere between the 8th pick and the 12th pick at worst. I don't know how credible that is, but that's what I saw.
I'm just checking out Tankathon here. So currently it is the 12th pick. Sorry, my mistake. It is the 12th pick currently. So the Falcons have 6 wins. Hypothetically they lose this game. If the Chiefs, who also have 6 wins, and the Dolphins, who also have 6 wins, both somehow win a game, they would jump over the Falcons, bringing it down to the 10th pick. The Bengals have 5, then the Saints have 5. So could the Saints and Bengals win out? So, yeah, the lowest I think it can go is potentially the 7th, but Washington would have to win out. Yeah, there's a lot of bad football teams that need to win out for that to happen. I think it stays between 10 and 12.
Okay.
I'm just thinking this through here. So, and Drake London and Kyle Pitts catches in this game? Absolutely. I totally think the pick will be lower than that because I could see them both getting like at least 8 catches. Like I don't think that's out of the question for them, especially because they have Cousins, throwing them the rock. So yeah, I'm going to say that is not an over Rams action.
Okay. Porter says overreaction because we're gonna win and they're gonna be 6 and 12. Over Rams action, I think. Over Rams action.
Yeah.
Finn's SOS, a tough one. Rumor has it Falcons pick will drop to 20th. Overreaction because Drake and Pitts are really good, but I want the top 10 pick. Honestly, I feel like the difference between even the top 8 pick and the 12th pick isn't all that crazy of a drop off, but we'll see. It's going to be interesting because, I mean, this could be another one of those that's close between these. Yeah. So we'll see. Falcons are going to be playing from behind, so they'll be throwing a lot. So the draft pick will be lower.
Yeah.
I'm kind of thinking along those lines too. I think that the draft pick is going to be lower than the catches of both of them combined, just based on the fact that Pitts in London, they're probably going to get a lot of at least targets. Yeah. So I do think that the pick will be lower for sure. Johnny Hamlin, my brother said both receivers have great hands, honestly. That's a good point. So they can secure those catches there. So that's going to do it for the Over Rams action segment of this. And I'm going to pass it over to Peo time for what's more likely, but it's just the Rams.
Great section. You're making us work on a Friday night with those Over Rams actions. I'm telling you.
We had a lot of weeks or a lot of time to prepare between the last game and now, so we got to make it a little tough.
Is this technically our first? Well, I guess it depends if we do a show on New Year's Eve. We might have one more first down Rams this year, but okay, interesting.
That's interesting to think about.
Yeah,
I didn't even think about that.
It's been one of the greatest shows ever, right?
Already, yeah. We're gonna get an Emmy for it.
Or an ESPY for it, or something.
An ESPY, some best sort of award. Maybe I was gonna say maybe we get MVP, not Stafford.
Yeah,
right. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay, let me get organized here. So we're playing what's more likely, but it's just the Rams. For those of you who have never played before, I'm going to give you two scenarios, and I want to hear you in the chat and Rams House say which one is more likely. And if you answer like both or neither, I'm going to be like, come on, pick a side, right? You know, we want commitment here. So that's kind of what we're going here with. So Rams House, are you ready for what's more likely, but it's just the Rams?
Let's do it. Excited to see what you cooked up here.
All right. Week 17, Rams Falcons coming in hot here. What's more likely? Kyren Williams has more yards rushing than Bijan Robinson, or Kirk Cousins has more passing yards than Matthew Stafford?
I'm going to go with the first one. Kyren has more than Bijan. I know like Bijan's really good, but I do feel like this could be a really good run game. Now, the more I'm thinking about it, Blake Corum and Kyren Williams do split time. So that makes it a little bit harder for Kyren to outrush Bijan. But I just feel like the Rams offense is going to put up points to where the Falcons are going to be having to pass a lot. I just don't know if I see Cousins passing more than Stafford, having more yards. I'm going to stick with Kyren has more than Bijan, but it is definitely tough with them splitting time, basically.
Okay. Yeah, I actually think there's a chance that Cousins has more passing yards than Stafford, just for the reason is I do think the Rams will be playing with a lead this game.
Yeah.
And that can kind of help the Falcons go one-dimensional. So that's my thoughts of it. But yeah, I see here a lot of people are saying the first one, K-Dub is more likely Rams can hit the ground attack. Okay. Bijan. Does anyone agree with me? Oh, yeah. Okay. Juno says Cousins somehow. Williams. Okay. That's fair. Okay. And my other caveat is Kyren Williams also splits carries like with Blake Corum, right? So
yeah. That's a good one to start off though. And Cousins is definitely one of those guys like you talked about maybe playing from behind, but sometimes he just randomly has really good games.
Yeah.
Like even thinking about that Vikings Rams, like Jared Goff and Kirk Cousins game on Thursday night when Goff had like the perfect passing game, even like Cousins was playing really well there. I even think like last year on the Falcons against the Bucks, I think it was on Thursday night, he put up like 425 passing yards. And like Cousins has been known to have those random games where he just pops off. And if he's playing from behind, that's definitely not out of the question.
Yep. You like that?
You like that?
Still one of the best Kirk Cousins moments ever.
It's so funny, especially if you see the video with it and not just hear it. It looks
even like that? You like that?
It's like so fired up.
Yeah. Okay. Second one. What's more likely, but it's just the Rams. The Falcons. What's more likely? The Falcons going to half with the lead, or Sean McVay uses 2 challenges this game?
That's a really good one. When was the last time McVay used 2 challenges? It's been a long time.
It's been a long time.
Has he ever actually? Yeah. I don't know if he's ever used 2 challenges.
Yeah. Mubi, pick a side.
Yeah. That's what I'm trying to pick a side here because I'm tempted to say neither, but
okay, fair.
I guess Falcons go into the lead or into the half with the lead because the Rams I could totally see like they're down, let's just say 10-7 or like 13-10 and then just come out, play really well in the second half. We've seen that before, so I'll say the first one.
Grandizer says McVay uses 2 challenges. Sheriff Joe is saying McVay 2 challenges just to make the refs look twice as something.
Honestly, maybe that's what they need. Just have it challenged so they take a closer look.
Fair enough.
That's a good one, though.
Okay. All right. My next three, I'm really proud of these three. All right.
Ooh. Does it mean are they going to be hard?
Well, I'll let you be the judge of that. Open to interpretation. Here we go. What's more likely? The Rams go into overtime for the second straight game, or the Rams have over 500 total yards for the third straight game?
I'm going second. I don't know why I feel so good about the Rams offense going into this one, because it's not like the Falcons defense is bad. Like they're second in sacks. They've just gotten better. Obviously, their coach is defensive minded. He knows McVay. I don't know why. I just have a weird feeling that the Rams offense is going to be on one this game. So I'm going to go over 500 total yards the third straight game.
Okay. It looks like all of you are agreeing. I guess I thought that was more clever in my head, but you guys are just like, come on, Peo.
It paused me for a second, and then I was like, well, this is the Rams. I think we'll get over 500.
Okay, so this sounded better in my head than it turned out. Because now you guys even got me as like, oh, come on, that was a stupid one.
I've had that happen too. It doesn't feel good.
Yeah. And Porter did point out that he used 2 challenges in 2023 versus the Brown. Interesting. Okay. Oh, thanks, Porter.
Definitely didn't remember that. Good memory there, Porter.
No. Okay. Next one. Hopefully this one's cooler. Okay, here we go. Okay. Context. The Falcons traded their 2026 first-round picks to draft edge rusher James Pierce Jr. What's more likely? Pierce has 2+ sacks in this game, or Rams tight end Terrence Ferguson scores a touchdown, who the Rams drafted with the 46th overall pick, which was originally the Falcons' picks in last year's draft.
It's a good one. I like the way you tied everything together.
Yeah, it's a story.
I'm going to go Ferguson.
Full circle there.
Yeah. I'm going Ferguson just because Higbee's still out. He should have had 2 touchdowns last week. I do think that the Rams are going to use 13 personnel, and it feels right that he's going to get in the end zone there. Pierce is a good edge rusher, but even a guy like Aiden Hutchinson, like we didn't see get 2 sacks against us. We have played some really good pass rushers, and the offensive line has been really good for the Rams.
Yep.
Pierce can definitely do that, but I think Stafford's been really good at least of getting rid of the football before taking a sack, and also just getting the ball up fast. Yep. So I'm going to go with Terrence Ferguson.
Okay, fair enough. And before I get to the chats, I do want to see Moabdeeb. I have had maple syrup in back-to-back waffle days. Just okay.
How do you know?
Yeah, the hotel I'm at has a great continental breakfast. Okay.
You got to take advantage of that.
Yeah. Okay, 2 challenges. Ferg. Okay, it seems like everyone's thinking Fergie is going for the touchdown here. Okay, that's cool. That's good. But hey, okay, thanks for the affirmation. That was a good one. Okay. Or Porter, unless the refs screw us again.
Hopefully not. Hopefully we don't put ourselves in a position to get screwed by them again.
Yeah. Okay, I got one more. Yeah, here we go. What's more likely this game? Puka. Oh, wait, sorry. Before I say this, context. Last week, my last what's more likely was, would Puka go over 160 yard for a third straight game? And would the Rams defense allow under 100 yards rushing for a third straight game? The Rams defense did, in fact, allow over 100 yards rushing. So Puka did, for a second game or third game in a row, went over 160. So I thought, you know what? Let's keep this going. What's more likely this game? Puka gets over 160 yards for the 4th straight game, or Nate Landman forces a fumble.
Making me choose here. I can't say both for those of you in the chat who want to say that. Yeah. Can't say both. Got to pick one.
Yeah. Rams Sheriff Joe saying Puka.
I'm going Landman here, actually. With the Landman punch out.
Okay.
Because Puka could still have 150, and that would make it would still work. But I really do feel like this game is going to be more like Rams running and focus on the tight ends, splash plays here and there. Puka's going to get involved for sure. Okay. I'm going to go Nate Landman. I feel he's going to get a punch out.
It seems like a lot of people are going Puka. Silly Fun Guy agrees. Nate Landman here, and so does Bruce. Sheriff Joe Bragg used his advanced Ramsalytics to say Puka hits 160, 100%. Landman force fumble 90%. Okay, that's some great. The Ramsalytics are just off the charts right there, Sheriff Joe. Yeah. So thank you.
He's flexing on us.
Yeah. A lot of people are saying Puka here. Okay, cool. And jokes on you, I forgot. I actually have one more. Are you ready for one
Ooh,
more?
you tricked me here.
A bonus one.
I don't know if I'm prepared for this.
This is my Christmas present to you and everyone in the live chat.
Hey, much love to you, Peo. I appreciate
Christmas
this.
present, what's more likely? Troy Reader gets a pick six or a touchdown on special teams. So of any kind, Troy Reader does something of significance, or Harrison Mevis makes a 60-yard field goal this game.
This is hard. Because I don't know if the Rams would trust Mevis to try a 60-yarder. But I'm going to go Mevis because it's indoors.
Okay,
and maybe the Rams are up by enough points, and they're like, let's just see if you can hit it from 60 for the future. I'm sorry, Troy Reader. I'm gonna go against that and go with me this year. What do you think, Pale?
You know, I've considered myself a Troy Reader truther, and I think something is coming with this man. There is a reason he is on this team. I don't think it's just because he's a great locker room guy. And me and Porter, we're in the same boat. Troy pick six. And so is Silly Fun Guy. I love it. Sheriff Joe's saying Mevis, and it's not close. But I choose to believe, even though Reader's our best player, something is going to happen with Troy Reader that's going to be super positive, and I am going to freak out on my watch party. Milton saying the Reader game comes in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, man, I would be very happy if Troy Reader got a pick six. I'd be wondering if I was dreaming, if it was actually real. Imagine though if Troy Reader just became a ball hawk. They just moved him to corner, and he just becomes like a lockdown corner.
No, like I honestly think if something were to happen, it's because like there's a fumble on like a kick return or something, and Troy Reader happens to pick it up, or like he's in on a rotational play on defense and the ball bounces off a defender and like lands in Troy Reader's hands, and he's just like, and he just runs it in. But yeah, I'll be totally here for it.
Honestly,
give away a Troy Reader jersey when it happens.
That's honestly that would give some incentive. Like as soon as you announce that, he'd probably get it. So,
right? Yeah.
Imagine though if he gets like 3 in the Super Bowl and gets Super Bowl MVP Troy Reader.
I wonder how much is a Troy Reader jersey? I'm gonna look that up, man.
Is there even one available?
I'm gonna find
go custom. I think you might have to go custom with this.
Okay.
Maybe I'm wrong.
I'm looking here at the Rams fan shop. Okay, I think you actually do. I think they have a 40% off sale right now on select jerseys. That's kind of cool. I don't actually see a Troy Reader jersey.
You'd have to go the full-on custom route.
I think you actually would have to request a Troy Reader jersey.
Sheriff Joe Bag says if Troy Reader gets Super Bowl MVP, I'll buy his jersey.
There we go.
Honestly, that would be the craziest turnaround for a player in history.
I'll join that. Okay, let's all get matching Troy Reader jerseys if he's Super Bowl MVP.
It's only fair.
Yeah.
For the amount of flack that he's taken to be able to give it all back to him, give him some praise for what he did. That'd just be insane. I don't know. It would feel like a different world we're living in if Troy Reader got Super Bowl MVP.
Yeah. All right, deal. Well, my friend, this has been such a great First Down Rams episode. It's been a lot of fun hanging out with you in the chat as always. What do you got coming out? Are you working on any videos in the pipeline?
Yeah, I'm kind of playing around with a couple different ideas here, different format things, but something for sure that you can make on is the post-game reaction, which will be Monday night.
Yep.
And it'll be a quick turnaround because next day, Tuesday, is when the next game preview will probably drop.
Right.
So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, game preview is usually Tuesdays. If anything, this week, maybe Wednesday. And then post-game reaction, usually we're just live after the game, just discussing things. So that's what you can expect from me. What about from you, though?
Yeah, I've kind of been taking a bit of a breather the past couple days just with Christmas, and I'll probably enjoy tomorrow off. And then Sunday I'll watch some football. I'll probably have some sort of video come out Sunday, just in regards to the outcomes of the game, and then of course I'll be live for my watch party for Rams versus Falcons on prime time Monday Night Football, and then we'll do reaction videos to that. My before and after videos. Once again, I got accused of faking the before part of it. I find it hilarious. I just find it funny because like people who don't know my channel and see it, they're like, "Wow, this is so fake! Like you clearly recorded this after the game." And now, like you can watch me record it live on a watch party, but okay, whatever.
That's crazy. Yeah. Just the consistency of that is crazy.
To the point now, there's some of my favorite comments of just like, this is amazing that you think I would fake this.
Yeah. I don't think life would be normal if you didn't get that comment. You'd be like, something's off here.
Yeah, people believe me.
Yeah, something's a little bit too off here.
One final question here from Muabdeeb is, when is Rams House going to grow a pale beard?
If I tried, you would upstage me. So I'm leaving that to Peo time right there, leaving it to him. I wouldn't try if I could, just because Peo time, he'd upstage it. He is the Rams guy with the beard. Sorry, Tuna. I mean, I know he's got one.
Tuna's got a good beard.
Yeah, he does.
Sheriff Joe can grow a little bit.
He's got the stash more than he does the beard, though.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. Jake Ellenbogen can grow a good stash.
Yeah.
Trying to think. Ian on the Rams Up podcast, he's got a decent like he's more of a chin strap with a like goatee, so it's pretty good.
He's professional. Yeah,
I'm trying to think who else has got Ramsaholic. He can grow one.
Yeah,
Ramsaholic.
That's true. Maybe I'm missing something here. I'm just trying to leave it to the people who do it best.
That's fair. Yeah. Anyway, and then you know what, Porter? I forgot. I started a couple of Porter's questions here. Do you have time if we answer a couple of Porter's questions here? Yeah, before we head out. So he's saying, what's more likely, Matthew Stafford MVP or Drake May? Don't be biased.
I honestly feel like it's not biased to say Stafford, though.
Yeah, no, I think the stats back it up.
Yeah. I still say Matthew Stafford MVP. I think what it would take is for him to have back-to-back bad weeks and Drake May continue to play really well. But even that, it's like, I mean, look at the other 15 other games he played. I don't know.
Yeah, that's fair. Why do you think our secondary is struggling? Is it because the Panthers are they pretending to be so bad? The playoffs will be amazing, top 5. You know what, Porter, I stand by something I've learned about the current state of the NFL. There are not that many elite secondaries in the NFL.
Yeah.
If you get good secondary play, like even decent, you have a top 10 unit, right? Because there's a lot of corners that get burned, and we see that every week. And I don't know if that's just the state of the position, or maybe wide receivers are just that much better right now, or the rules are just favoring the offense. So I think like the Rams secondary, it may not be like on the level of the Broncos or the Texans, but I think they're actually still one of the better units in the NFL.
Yeah, I don't know if I would go as far as to say like they're one of the better units, like cornerback units in the NFL. I think that they get put down as like the worst cornerback room, and I don't agree with that.
Yeah.
I would say like middle of the pack to maybe a little bit below. The weird thing is when they have good games, they have good games. Like the whole room feels like it's playing on fire, kind of going back to that Tampa Bay one. And we've seen games where it's like, oh man, like, is this a sign of things to come? But then you have games where it's like, they're okay. Or, oh, I wish we had better guys. But I feel like Jalen Ramsey really spoiled us with what we had there.
Yeah.
We expect to have that. It's kind of similar to like an Aaron Donald conversation. People are like, the pass rush isn't good because it's not like Aaron Donald. But yeah, we had Jalen Ramsey, we've had Marcus Peters, Aqib Talib. It's always like the big name cornerbacks, even like Tremaine Johnson and stuff like that, where that's what Rams fans I think expect, to where more of like a committee approach with guys feels like it's bad, but it's not necessarily bad. I do think that you are on a good point there with like, there's really not a lot of secondaries and cornerback rooms in the NFL that are like loaded, or it's just usually like the one big name guy is what people gravitate towards.
And like who would you say is the best corner in the NFL right now?
Probably Pat Surtain.
I would say it's between Surtain and Stingley, and
that's a good point.
I think they're fantastic corners, but like, are they prime Jalen Ramsey level? No. Are they
definitely
prime
not as complete? No.
Like Darrelle Revis? No, right? Like that elite corner that just shut down corner. It's so rare, right? And like that's why every draft, I always see these comments on all of our videos of like, it's time for the Rams to draft a true shutdown corner. Where it's like I would love them to draft a shutdown corner, but it's hard to find that, right?
Yeah, it's so hard to find. I mean, it's so much easier said than done. And even some of the best cornerback prospects coming back like out of drafts, even in the first rounds, sometimes just turn out to be busts. Like, it is a very hard position to play because you're going up against like the best athletes in the world, who you can be having a great game all game, but you have two plays where you just get burnt over the top or whatever, and people think you're a bad corner. So it's a hard position to play. It takes the right like personality to be able to play it too. And it's just like, there's a lot of factors in it for sure. But it's definitely, you can't just be like, all right, like we lost Jalen Ramsey, let's just draft one and it'll be the same. It's like, even if they tried every year from the time they let Ramsey go to now, I still don't know if we have that same kind of guy as Jalen Ramsey, even if they drafted one every year in the first round. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, absolutely. What's more likely, Rams first kick return or punt return with our new special teams coordinator? I'm going to say punt return, just because it seems like the Rams kick return, they just run it forward and get tackled at the 25 to 30 every time.
I'm actually going kick return.
Okay.
We've had some close punt returns though. I'll get like, even against Seattle, we almost had one break. We've seen that get close, but I don't know why. I feel like I'm feeling kick return.
Okay, no, that's cool. What's more likely, Nate Landman going to have a good game or Kirk Cousins have a good game? I'm saying Nate Landman.
It just depends on what you define by like a good game. I
That's
guess.
Fair. It's subjective, yeah.
Because this is one of those where I want to say both, maybe, but
pick a side.
I'll say Landman. Yeah, I'll say Landman.
Okay, final one here from Porter. What's more likely, Seahawks lose to the Panthers or 49ers lose to the Bears? Between Seahawks and Panthers, what team would you guys want to lose to help the Rams if we need them? I'm not exactly sure what you mean by that final part there, but what's more likely, Seahawks lose to Panthers or Niners lose to the Bears? I'm going to say Niners lose to the Bears.
I agree.
What do you think?
Yeah, I agree. I think Panthers can play spoiler for sure.
Yeah.
And they did to us. I think Seahawks may be riding in high, but I feel like Bears have a chance to do something against the 49ers because the 49ers pass rush isn't that great. But if for the Bears to win that, they'd need to play like a shootout style game, I think, because I think the 49ers are going to put up a lot of points. So hopefully the Bears will play good enough. But I'm just hoping that both happen, honestly.
Yeah.
Get both of them to lose, that would be nice. But
that would be a nice little way to end off 2025 and head into the final week, which is crazy. This NFL season is just, man, it's flown by. It's crazy.
It really has. It does every year, though. It's like, even when I try to enjoy it, it's like, man, it's already week 18. Like, how's that happening?
I remember watching Rams Showcase, and shout out, if you're not subscribed to Rams Showcase with Sheriff Joe Beggs, what are you doing with your life? Back in like week 5, I remember him just being like, it's week 5, slow down, right? Like,
He was saying that week 2, I think.
Was it? Yeah.
Like, gotta enjoy it. But the good thing for the Rams is our season isn't done after regular season. We at least have one more guaranteed game, and that's what we're excited about.
Do you know what I'm ready to be done with? Talking about seeding. Last year I got fed up talking about seeding because, like, obviously you want your team to have home field advantage, but when you don't get it, you just like, I don't like complaining about not having home field advantage. And it's just like, if they are the 3 seed, the 4 seed, I don't care. Like, if they're the 5 or 6 seed, like they punch the ticket. That's all I care about. They're in the playoffs. Yes, ideally they're the number 1 seed. If it didn't work out, I'm still stoked my team is in the playoff. Seeding goes like this in the like category of things that I am just so over talking about in this like YouTube space. Seeding is probably one of them.
Yeah. That's fair. It's a fun finish because you got like 4 different teams that could get the 1 seed by the end of the year at this point in the season. That's what I like about it. But the crazy thing is it changes, like the seeding kind of, I guess, scenarios and implications change every week.
Yeah.
Where like at some point I'm like, I'm just ready to play playoff football. But the exciting thing is the season feels like it's getting close to an end. But if the Rams make the Super Bowl, we still got football till like February.
Yeah.
So we just got to enjoy this. This is like mid-season for us.
and like, I know it's nice when your team gets the bye in the first round, but hey, it's one more possible Rams game, 4 instead of 3. That's exciting.
2 more insane Puka catches that you wouldn't have seen had they not played that game. So
100%.
Like this comment from Rams Showcase, seeding is to Peo what mock drafts are to me.
You know what? At some point, Joe, you and I want to make a bet. And if you lose the bet, I want you to do a live mock draft with me on stream.
That would be funny. What would be your consequence? Like you would have to maybe talk about seeding for an hour?
just ramble on about like why the Rams need the number 1 seed here, like or something like.
Go through every scenario of every different kind of seeding game that they would play or something.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
Kickers all the way through. Nothing matters. That'd be the quickest mock draft. Just picks every kicker available.
Kickers. Well, anyway, this has been a pleasure, my friend. And we will see you in the next episode of First Down Rams.
Oh, yeah. Good to see all of you guys.